Welcome to tonight's episode of Advertising and Recruiting. I'll start with what is advertising and recruiting. Well, advertising is the active practice of calling public attention to one's product, service, needs, etc. Recruiting, to enlist a person for a service and organization. I'll ask a few questions about this. How can we apply the situation to our business practices from this article? Well, after reading this article, it's wanted to show the importance of advertising jobs and different ways to recruit these people for these jobs. Even though I do not myself plan on working in a restaurant for the rest of my life, the article stated many useful ways of hiring and advertising for jobs that can also be used on a higher upscale level of restaurants. Now, what is the takeaway message from this article? I believe that the takeaway message from this article will be that when hiring and advertising for positions for your establishment, you have to put in the work and the effort for it. You have to put in that legwork, maybe those extra hours to get the people that you want for the job. This article showed it in a very good way by stating a few different sources that you could go to find people for your job. One thing that they stated was that of going to a college campus and passing out flyers to the students and letting people know about your new restaurant, your new establishment that's coming out, and what the job actually may entail for them. Now, in some ways, maybe going to a college campus is not the best way because of the fact that they are usually younger people who may not think of this job as a great footstep in the rest of their careers and may not take it seriously. But it is also a good start in the way of thinking of the large population. Now, when also doing this, how about any suggestions that could help us do this job better? Well, there are definitely some major suggestions that this article focused on. The main thought that I want to go back to is the college campus, as I previously stated, because it has such a large demographic of people that may possibly want to work in your establishment. Also, that of hiring experienced workers. When you hire workers that may have already been in the field of restaurants and may have served previously or done some type of front-of-the-house experience, then that is maybe one less step that you have to worry about in the end game of setting up your restaurant. If you have someone who's been working in the front of the house for years and years and years, you can always just give them an outline of what you want. Obviously, it has to be your thought and down to the specifics of what you want. But someone who has worked in the industry for a while, if you kind of set them on the right path, should know where they want to go with that. Also, creating a buzz for your business. Now, you can do this in many different ways. By advertising, you can set up billboards, you can have it in newspapers, radio. But what this article brought out, which is also a good idea, is maybe having an event to get your name out there and have more exposure for your restaurant. Maybe possibly having a dinner before you actually open and giving people the chance to taste the food that you plan on coming out with at a later date. Now, by doing this, you can also add how we can protect ourselves if a situation were to say turn out negative. Now, in this article, it didn't really go into detail about that, but there was one point where it stated maybe going, if you were at another restaurant and somebody had given you very good service, possibly going up and talking to them and saying, this is very good if you're looking for a second job, or if you ever want to make a move to a different establishment, here's my card. Now, that's a good idea. I mean, networking is great. That's what our school teaches. But there are also some negative drawbacks that can happen from that. From situations like that, the restaurant world, no matter how large it may seem, is a very close, tight-knit organization. So by doing something like this, you may get the persona or may be perceived as someone who is sneaky to other establishments, thus getting a bad name and rep for yourself. So that may not be the best direction that you can go for this. But if you, per se, did run into something like this, how can this situation be resolved? Well, it can be resolved in many ways. Sometimes just by speaking with someone from the establishment and letting them know what your actual intentions were and show that you did not mean any disrespect to them in any way possible. It can just be as simple as that. Or maybe it would be to take them out for dinner and schmooze them a little bit so they know. Just little things like that could help. But also, what about the scenario of impact of players behind the immediate jobs and positions that you're looking for? Well, this article, once again, did not go further than the immediate players that they were talking about of hiring for the new positions in the restaurant. But when thinking about this, the people that you hire for your restaurant, the first people that your customers see when they walk in might be these people. So you want to have a group of people that are perceived in the image that you want them to be perceived as, whether it is the way they're dressed, the way they look, the way they carry themselves, the type of service that they cater to your customers. So, by doing this, that immediate player of the job position that you're trying to fill is also going to later affect your customers, which later affects your overall income, which affects your entire business as a whole. Because it starts with the customers, and what the customers want is what the customers will get. These are just a few things about advertising and recruiting that can help your business to succeed in this culinary world that we're now becoming today. So until next time, hear more.